Praise be he who have once returned and died and returned and sent to the third from the top of the library has been reincarnated. Ilharg has changed to a dog with masks. KONA, baby. Let's get it done.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Jankyard. I'm Logan.
I'm Isaac.
He's drinking water.
Hydration.
We've got another deck tech for you.
Another one.
It's another one. It is My Obsession with Magic, which is playing really expensive creatures way earlier than you should be playing them.
It is playing really expensive creatures for not expensive prices.
Very, very cheap. So we are using, you've seen the thumbnail, we're using KONA. KONA's the new Duskmourn creature that just lets you play whatever the heck you want. 4 mana, 4/3, survival, second main phase. If she's tapped, put a permanent from your hand onto the battlefield. It's a May. It's also a permanent. Most of the time, usually these are just creatures, right? But
Forest.
Yeah. Play your second land for the turn.
There you go.
Get another landfall trigger. No, but we want to get more than a forest. We want to get things like Valgavoth and World Spine Worm. When I was building this deck, I did something different. Usually when I build a deck, I go, what do I want to do? I want to do this. I'm going to take these pieces that do that and assemble them, and then just for the rest of the deck, what do I do to support it? I'm doing things differently now. I went by turns.
Okay.
I want to know what my turn 1 is, I want to know what my turn 2 is, and I want to know what my turn 3 is. Turn 3, ideally, we are getting Valgavoth onto the battlefield. The ideal way to do that is KONA. There are other ways we can do this, but that's because I wanted to go by turns. So there's actually like 2 or 3 ways we can win the game here. So let's start with turn 1.
Okay.
Turn 1, we have 3 cards. Lawn of War Elves, Elvish Mystic, obviously, and Thoughtseize. There is another card that I considered putting in here, and I've tried on Arena before in a Selesnya build of this. Citonal Stalwart, because that can tap KONA.
Yes, it can.
So I consider that as well. And for people playing budget, just throw that in instead of the Thoughtseize, because it's like 1,000% cheaper. So
it's a quarter at your local game store.
Indeed. You can probably get the play set for a quarter, honestly. Turn 1, we are ramping into KONA.
Okay.
That's what we want to do.
Turn 1.
If we don't have an elf on turn 1, that's why the Thoughtseize is in there. If I can't speed myself up, I'm going to slow you down.
Got it.
I'm just going to look at your hand, go, that kills KONA. That kills me on turn 4.
If I can't refill my car with gas, I'm running you off the road.
Exactly. Turn 2 is what we are going to play that will help tap the KONA. Okay? The ideal one here is pretty funny. Caustic Bronco.
Yes.
Is in here as a 4 of. 2 mana, 2/2.
Snake Horse.
Snake Horse. You can saddle it for 3. Whenever it attacks, you reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand, and then you take damage equal to its mana value. If Caustic Bronco is saddled, instead the opponent takes that damage.
Got it.
Do you know how funny it would be to turn 2 Caustic Bronco, turn 3 KONA, saddle KONA onto the Caustic Bronco, swing, reveal Valgavoth, deal 9, put it into hand, second main phase Valgavoth.
Show the threat. The threat deals a damage equal to what their damage already is. Also, it's just here.
It's just here now.
Yeah.
Caustic Bronco's a 4 of. The other main one is 4 copies of Smuggler's Copter.
Congratulations.
Classic vehicle. We have a third option. Again, this is how I was thinking for turn 2.
Okay.
If we can't hit either of those, the other option is Reckoner Bankbuster. KONA can crew Reckoner Bankbuster, and worse comes to worse, I can just draw cards off of the Reckoner Bankbuster.
Yep.
So I can draw into more stuff if I need it. Turn 3 is KONA, or... Nah, turn 3 is KONA.
Okay.
I gotta play KONA turn 3.
Alrighty.
That's what's happening.
Alrighty.
That's why I like Caustic Bronco and Smuggler's Copter, is because they can loot for KONA quicker in case I don't have it.
Yeah.
And there's another card in here I'll mention at the end that can help grab KONA if we need it. So turn 3 is, what are we putting onto the battlefield?
Yes.
Valgavoth, Titan of Industry, World Spine Worm. We are playing 3 of Valgavoth and Titan of Industry and 2 of World Spineworm.
You got 8 total things.
8 total things to grab.
That's pretty good.
I do not want to overbear it because we're probably not casting these.
You're never casting.
So we want to make sure that maybe Titan of Industry. It depends, but depending on how that goes, that's what we're trying to do, is make sure that we cheat those guys out on that turn. There is one card, like I mentioned, in here that can help us if we don't have KONA. Because remember, KONA is like the reason we play this. And we could only have 4 copies of KONA. I couldn't find anything to play with KONA that did the same thing.
Yeah, did it as fast. There are other options, but they're outside of your colors or just really slow and stupid.
Exactly. Shout out to a guy at my LGS who played a similar version of this, although I think I made the better list. We'll see. We'll see. But he played 4 copies of the Huntsman's Redemption, which is not a card I even knew existed until I looked at it. And when I looked at it, I realized how good it was for the deck. Chapter 1, you make a 3/3. Chapter 2, you may sack a creature, and if you do, search your library for a creature or a basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. The reason I like this card so much, it's pretty slow, because in theory, maybe we have to play it turn 2, because if we have an elf turn 1, we can play it turn 2, then it's not like the worst.
Yeah.
But on its first chapter, it makes a 3/3. And the 3/3 can crew any of our vehicles or saddle the Caustic Bronco by itself. Chapter 2, even if we lose the beast, we could probably still sack the elf and not have to worry about too much. There's a few ways we can do that, and then we are grabbing either KONA, probably is what we're going to be grabbing, or if we have the KONA and we don't have a threat to put onto the board, we grab the Valgavoth, right? Like this can grab either of the 2 parts of this combo that we need.
Yeah.
So this card is really nice. Outside of that, that's the list.
Okay.
And then it's lands. I have a sideboard. The sideboard is 3 copies of all of these cards. So it's 5 different cards, 3 copies each.
Simple.
We have 3 Fatal Push.
Okay.
Because I want to bring that in instead of Thoughtseize if I'm playing against aggro.
Got it.
Because that's way more effective than losing 2 life.
Got it.
3 Pick Your Poison.
Okay.
I don't have to explain that one.
Nope.
That's just a good card.
Move on.
3 Leyline of the Void. Again, don't really have to explain that one.
Move on.
Shuts down some good decks right now. 3, these are the 2 that are really funny. 3 Unlicensed Hearse, which does the same thing as the Leyline, but it's also a vehicle that we can crew with KONA.
Crew KONA.
So we get two birds with 1 stone right there.
Is there a reason you would want to play the hearse over the Leyline or vice versa? Because my only thing I can think of is if there's a lot of stuff in the graveyard you want to get rid of versus a little bit. But I can't think of a deck that has a lot that it wants to get back.
My issue is that Leyline is 4 mana.
Yes.
If Leyline's in the opening hand, I don't have to worry about
it's
it.
0 mana.
Leyline is going to be a catch-all for most things, and it's a lot harder to remove, in my opinion, than the hearse, because you can crew the hearse and do whatever.
Yeah.
I just figured, one, I don't know what else to put in the sideboard.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
But Izzet Phoenix is still huge.
So
we're getting a lot of other stuff that involves graveyard. I figure is probably just a better option to be double down on that. And it's like Reckoner Bankbuster is already only in the deck right now as a way to tap KONA anyways.
Yeah.
So why not just have extra protection against the graveyard problems in the form of something that can still tap KONA?
Yeah, so you've got Leyline of the Void for graveyard hate.
Yeah.
You've got Unlicensed Hearse for graveyard hate. You can put either one of them in, whichever one you're feeling at the time for graveyard hate. Or you can put them both in for graveyard hate.
Yeah.
I hate
you so much. Jund Sacrifice? You ain't doing
get
anything.
out of here.
You're stupid. You're dumb. We're not doing that tonight.
Yeah.
The last card is a replacement creature to cheat out. We're playing 3 copies of Carnage Tyrant on the sideboard.
All right, that's a classic.
This is the anti-control.
Classic.
If worse comes to worse, 6 mana, I can last long enough to just draw 6 lands and play it on turn 6 against Azorius control, and then they can't do anything unless they have the verdict in hand. Do you know how many times I've beaten someone to death with a Carnage Tyrant because they just had no way to deal with it?
Too many times.
Man, that card is still good, folks. That card is still great. That is the deck.
Okay.
We are turn 3 dropping on a Valgavoth and just winning is the plan.
Well, sir, I've got some questions for you.
Okay.
Is there a reason you stuck with threats in your colors rather than went outside of them?
Titan of Industry, yes. At 7 mana, I felt like in most mid-range shells, depending on the matchup, I could get to that and hardcast it. World Spineworm is a placeholder for if I ever get $80, I'm throwing in Vaultborn Tyrant. I would actually probably go 3 Vaultborn and 2 Titan if I had the opportunity, but it's an expensive card.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to run what I knew I had, and also, yes, at some point, if I really need to, I can play it. Am I going to play the World Spine Worm? No. But maybe, who knows?
Hopefully not. Yeah. I guess the bigger question is why not play the Atraxa? Why not play like the things people are transmogrifying into to get to that? Because you're already playing something that cheats things out, why not play something in red or blue or white?
So Atraxa as a body is just fantastic. Yeah. I would also consider running Atraxa. I genuinely don't think as far as big creatures go, there's wrong answers. The decision-making process behind the 3 creatures was twofold. Priority 1 was I needed something that either was really hard to get rid of and was game-winning, or got me value off of entering the battlefield or leaving the battlefield. My second priority when it came to picking my creatures was budget.
Yep.
That was it. Like, I mean, I would throw in Vaultborn Tyrant over Worldspine Worm. Yep. No question. That's a fantastic card, and every time KONA triggers, I just get more value out of it, right?
Yeah.
It's also $40.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to try to find that. Valgavoth is 20. That's money. That's not budget for sure.
Yeah.
But I figured if there was one thing I can splurge on, it's probably the most important of the 3 creatures. Titan of Industry is $1.
Yes.
Very effective for what it does. We talked last week about how there was a deck that was running Titan of Industry in an Indomitable Creativity list. Mm-hmm. I think the value that it gets is enough for me to play that over the Vaultborn Tyrant for right now. So I figured that was a good replacement. I just had the World Spine Worms.
Okay.
I figured that was probably okay. Again, that's probably what I would actually replace.
Would you consider Snakeskin Veil or a likewise ability for the deck?
When I started playing decks like this, where I was reliant on one creature all the time, I would be like, I need to play something to protect this guy, right? Absolutely. Like, there's no way. Over the years, I've just been like, if they remove it, who cares? Like, I need to have a plan B, not I need to protect plan A.
Yeah.
Which has always been my thought process from this point on. If they get rid of the KONA, that sucks, but I still have several vehicles that can provide me a lot of value as far as drawing into either another KONA or just keeping the threats up. Like, the plan B, Caustic Bronco's a win con.
Yeah.
Beating down with Smuggler's Copter's a win con. It's not the best win con, but it's there.
Solid.
And because of the draw discard, you can still draw into more threats as much quicker than you would if you were just playing whatever. I figured it would be better to do game 1, just have plan A. Just put everything into plan A. If plan A fails, that's what the sideboard's for.
I think that's all the questions I got, but I'm sure there's going to be more questions about it. So,
maybe
viewers, if you have anything about the deck, any suggestions, any comments, any concerns, if you want to pet the dog, if you want to give the dog a treat, anything, please let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your feedback. This will probably be a deck that we revisit in the future.
I have built this. Yes. I am bringing this next week to my Pioneer Friday Night Magic. I will give you guys results if you want. Leave a comment if you guys want to hear about how this does. If you guys have suggestions, go for it. But I would love to give you guys a bit of a rundown on how this does, because I'm really excited to play this.
I can tell. Thank you a lot for watching. Appreciate all of you. Check us out on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, and TikTok. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment before you leave. Tell your friends about it. Have a good one, guys. Take care.